Hi, this is Colleen from Barnett Babies 123s, and I wanted to talk to you today about an experience that we had yesterday at the hospital. We went to our doctor on Wednesday for our usual one-week visit, and he let us know that we'd need to come back on Friday for an ultrasound to check for the viability of the placenta and to make sure that the amniotic fluid level was acceptable. He's basically trying to determine whether or not we are overdue, because we're kind of guessing at a due date. So he wanted to make sure that we weren't too far overdue. So we got to the office for the ultrasound, sat and waited for a while. There was a little bit of confusion with paperwork. We finally got to the ultrasound office. You know, after looking forward to it for a couple of days, we didn't know we were going to get this ultrasound. It was a surprise. So we were extremely excited because we had been told way back in October that we wouldn't have any more ultrasounds for the rest of our pregnancy unless there was something wrong. So when we heard that we were going to have an ultrasound, we were elated because we were going to get to see her face again, and it was going to be special. You know, ultrasounds are special times. A time when you get a window into the womb and you get to see the face of your child that you're looking forward to meeting very soon. So as you can imagine, we were extremely excited. We told everybody we're having an ultrasound. We were hoping to come home with printouts of photographs that we could show our family and friends. And I was even hopeful that we would be able to get some video footage of the ultrasound, of Hanaya moving around in there. Hoping it would be a special experience and a fond memory for me to be able to share with birth mom for many years. But we had a very different experience, and this experience reminded me that what's happening in my little world is not the most important thing, because the way I behave affects other people, and what's happening for other people is very different than what's happening for me. So I was on the receiving end of someone's bad day, and it was kind of heartbreaking, really, for me and birth mom. When we walked into the office, the technician, we quickly learned the technician was running the front desk, answering the phones, doing everything. She was basically running the entire office by herself, which, that's not so great. I'm sure that wasn't fun. I'm sure she was having a little bit of a stressful day. But she was rude to us from the get-go, from the very second that we walked in the door. She rudely and brusquely took us back into the room. She was rude to both of us. She made us feel like we were an inconvenience and that we were messing up her day. And she didn't take any effort whatsoever to make it special for us. And I know that the ultrasound's main purpose was to check for placenta viability and for fluid levels, but obviously there's more than a placenta and fluid in the womb. There's a baby there. The baby's a person. And the baby's parents are there wanting to see the baby. And anybody with any kind of heart would make an effort to let the parents see the baby, right? I mean, that's what you would expect. But there was really no effort made. There were 3 images captured and handed to us at the end, but none of the images even look human. Baby is 39.5 weeks, and there were lots of really clear, beautiful images that were skimmed across during the process of the ultrasound, but none were paused on long enough to capture. And there were basically 3 just haphazard captures just so she could hand us 3 little pieces of paper at the end. And, you know, if these were pictures of your child, you would probably just throw them away because they don't even look like your child. I mean, they don't even look like a human. Because there was no effort taken to pause on an image and then capture it. It was just really haphazardly done. And it was heartbreaking to both of us. It was annoying, but it was heartbreaking when I stepped back and thought about it. You know, because this young woman, well, wasn't young, this woman was having a rough day, she decided to take it out on us, and this was an extremely special moment for us that was just stolen. I feel like something that could have been a very fond, positive memory for us, and could have been a time when we had photographs printed that we could have kept, put in a baby book, or framed, or shown to our family and friends. We were robbed of that, and we were given junk. We were given a halfway job. And it reminds me of, there's several passages of Scripture that talk about doing everything unto the glory of God. And I'm not assuming that woman was a Christian, you know. She may not have been, but the passage that comes to my mind says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. And the concept there is to live unto the glory of God. Everything that you do, you're doing to the best of your ability because you're trying to glorify God in the way that you work. But, you know, that same type of concept can be applied in the world whether you're Christian or not. You've probably heard of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have do unto you. And that's, you know, it's a biblical concept that has been kind of, you know, everybody in the world has probably heard that, or at least everybody in our country has probably heard of that concept. And they don't even necessarily associate it with anything biblical, but, you know, you treat others the way you would want to be treated. And if this was you and you were 39.5 weeks pregnant and you hadn't seen your child in 2.5 months and this was your one little window into the womb, wouldn't you want that person to take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort to make it special for you? Of course you would. So it's just a reminder. You know, it's a sad memory to me that moment was stolen from us, but it's also a really good reminder for me because I've got bad days too. You know, there are days that are stressful to me. I had one just a few days ago. You know, just because I'm having a stressful moment doesn't mean that I should take that out on other people because they're having a very different experience. They have a whole different set of worries, a whole different set of concerns. What's going on in their little bubble is very different than what's going on in my little bubble. But the way I behave drastically affects those people. So I hope that this is helpful for some of you. Just remember to, you know, behave in such a way that other people are honored and served, and just that you show concern for them. You know, it's really important in day-to-day life. So that aside, ultrasound is over. Now we're looking forward to birth. That's the next step. We go back to the doctor on Monday. Today is Saturday, the 18th of January, 2014. We're due on the 21st, which is Tuesday. We go back to the doctor on Monday, the 20th, in the morning. And he's going to be checking to make sure that we're still continuing to efface. Wednesday, we were 30% effaced. Friday, we were 50% effaced, still dilated 1 centimeter. So dilation doesn't seem to be moving much, but effacement is certainly progressing well. Mama had, 4 contractions within 20 minutes while we were at the doctor's office on Friday. So we were getting a little excited there, thinking, oh, maybe we're going to get, rhythmic here in our contractions, but they ended up stopping, which was frustrating, but she's definitely having painful contractions. We're definitely moving toward labor. We're definitely moving toward it. So trying to be patient, trying to wait on the Lord. My husband will be back tonight, which is exciting. And we had been praying all week that Hanaya would not come into the world without him being there. So that's a huge answer to prayer. We're very thankful for that. So I just appreciate all of you who are following along our journey. I appreciate all of your prayer support and all of your questions and just concern. It really means a lot to us, and we love all of you. And I hope that these videos are helpful to just kind of answer a lot of people's questions in one fell swoop and make it feel like you're kind of there and part of it. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, 3 days until our due date. Hopefully it won't be that long until Hanaya is in my arms in this rocking chair. So hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless all of you. Bye.